Hello guys and welcome, my name is Dalaran, and today I'm going to be talking real quickly about some of the changes that are coming out to Warlords of Draenor Alpha. These changes again might be reverted, might stay, we don't know, but I just want to discuss kind of like how I see where the Blizzard guys are going at it, mainly from the rogues perspective. The other classes I might cover at one point, but mainly we're talking about rogues, since this is a rogue channel, more or less combat rogue channel, and I guess just want to share with you some insight that I have found within the patch notes. So all the changes so far that have been established as of right now, Friday the 13th of 2014, June. The changes are right now as Blindside got a lot of, not just Blindside, but a lot of passives get implemented into other abilities, such as Blindside, which is for assassination rogues, is part of Dispatch as the ability. So you no longer have two different, you have a passive and an ability that works with it. It's just that passive effect is part of the ability. Same thing with Cut to the Chase has been added to Envenom, and Safe Fall, which gives you a safe fall for rogues and reduce falling damage, is now part of Fleet-Footed. So those are the changes that have been kind of morphed into the abilities, the passives into the abilities themselves. I guess it's more of a ability pruning to cut out as many passives and abilities that are not needed. Another one though that I missed is Massive Subtlety is now part of Stealth for Subtlety rogues. So the formula or the function or the script has been written for it. So now Massive Subtlety that gives 10% damage increase for sub rogues, which is part of their stealth. Which is funny because we're probably going to have a lot of bugs with this kind of rewrites, I feel like, but that's all going to be worked out. Just, again, informing that there is ability pruning. Shadow Walk is being removed. I actually found it kind of useful against rogues. I never really was able to test its usefulness or if it actually really works against anybody, but I like that ability, but it's fine if they take it away. As long, I feel like they should up rogues' stealth just a little bit. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. For assassination, venomous wounds no longer triggers from Garrote, so instead of being able to use Garrote, now you have to establish Rupture on your targets. And the way I played Assassination Rogue, I always made sure to establish Rupture, mainly because it had faster ticks. It ticked every 2 seconds, while Garrote ticked every 3. So technically had more chances to get the poison damage, and now that it's going to be 100% guarantee every time it ticks, it just makes sense to get it from Rupture. And the Blizzard guys figured it out, and they're realizing it, and that's why they made this change. Now the change for Combat Rogue is interesting. As everybody knows, Shadowblades has been removed from the game. Now, Shadowblades Killing Spree has made an amazing combo together, and taking out Shadowblades, I felt like Killing Spree is going to kind of lose its edge a little bit. Now, when looking at Kill Spree, which has been changed, Kill Spree no longer increases all damage done for its duration. Kill Spree is to do 50% damage or 50% damage increase during the duration of Killing Spree. But now that portion has been taken out, but its damage has been increased to compensate. So, as far as I understand, Killing Spree plus Shadowblade's effect is kind of being worked into this change for Warlords of Draenor Killing Spree, and I'm hoping it's going to be just as strong. Because if it is, then rogues are not really going to have to deal with much. I mean, of course, agility trinkets and whatnot are going to still buff our agility, so that is still a buff. But the only thing else that comes with it is main crochet damage that comes out of it as well. Which main crochet has always been changed and now deals offhand weapon damage. Its damage has been increased to compensate. I am not sure why they changed it so it's now offhand damage. But it doesn't make that much of a difference. Maybe what I got to thinking is some rogues, like I used to a little bit, for PvE and some portion of PvP, used to run heavy weapon dagger, kind of. So you would have a sword, mace, axe, or a fist weapon in main hand and a dagger in the offhand. It doesn't quite help. I felt like, for me, Killing Spree, you weren't getting as much out of it as possible, and from auto attacks and everything. I feel like that's why they're trying to give more weight. So Combat Rogue has, you know, a sword in both hands, or axe and a mace mix or whatever. But pretty much heavier weapons, heavier one-handed weapons, rather than a dagger at any point. Because you're still going to have Sinister Strike, which is going to be stronger if you have a heavier weapon. And now Main Crochet, which is stronger if you have a heavier weapon. It also, damage has been increased to compensate, works with Killing Spree, whose damage has been increased to compensate, but no longer increases all damage done. I guess it's just, instead of having to have buffs stack on each other, now you're just gonna have pretty much separate abilities slash passive slash like main Goucher procs combined together. I guess that just works better for the script, but it also gives me kind of hope that Shadowblade's Killing Spree will still be strong if it's just Killing Spree. since the ability itself on its own has been buffed. That's really all the rogue changes that there are. There's a lot more changes coming out of the Warlords of Draenor. If you guys want me to cover in more depth on it, I can cover the raiding portion, I can cover even more PvP portion, I can cover other classes and what I think of it, because I always believe that studying other classes is the best way, if not playing them, to get to know how to beat them. So to beat somebody, you gotta know how their class functions. After you know how the class functions, you know the advantages and the weaknesses. Without it, you don't really have structured PvP, and therefore you're not really playing a rogue how I used to play a rogue. But yep, this is the changes that are as of Friday the 13th on June 2014. Thank you guys for watching this video. This has been Dowdon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got informed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.